Hi, this is Donna from Clever Crafting. Thank you for joining me here today. So this is the second card of our Charity Day card making set. So this is a set of 4. So there is another video before this. This is number 2. So this is actually what I call a 4-piece border card. We're going to start with 2 lots of patterned paper. Now, the first one here, I'm actually want this to be landscape. So I'm going to trim it to 12 centimeters wide. I'm going to take that, just nip that piece off at the edge, slip that off at the end. I'm using my Tim Holtz cutter and I'm just going to snip that, and I'm actually going to keep that aside. We're going to use that in one of the other cards of the set of 4. Now this is 6 inches, this is a 6 inch by 6 inch, which is actually 15.2 centimeters. I'm actually just going to take 2 mil off here so it's an even 15 centimeters. I don't need that piece. I'm going to throw it away. The reason that I'm doing this is so it's easier to measure. So I'm going to measure from this back end. I'm going to move it 2 centimeters up. And then when I cut it, so now that's at the 13 centimeter mark. And when I do that, I will have a 2 centimeter strip, which is the piece that I want to use. Now I'm going to do that again because I need 2 of them. I need 2 pieces that'll be 2 centimeters by 12 centimeters. All right, so now I'm just going to pop this away. If you're mass producing these cards, you would cut that whole piece into strips so you would have enough for several cards. But I'm just making one now. So this one I need it to be the opposite way. I need the strips to actually be portrait, not landscape. So I'm leaving this at the 6 inches, which is 15.2, and I'm taking that off and making it 15 centimeters, obviously, and I'm actually going to take 2 centimeters off that. I'm going to measure it the same way. So now I've got a piece that's 2 centimeters by 15 centimeters, and I'm going to cut this at 7.5 centimeters. So I'm getting 2 pieces out of it, 2 pieces at 7.5 out of the 1 strip. There we go. Perfect. Happy days. All right, so you can see now that I've got 4 pieces. So these 4 pieces are going to make up our border, hence the 4-piece border card. So this matte layer, which is a lightweight card that you'll find in your kit, I'm cutting down to 14.3 by 10 centimeters. So this will give us a nice border around our card base. Now, this is the piece of card that was left over from the first card that we made, that we trimmed off the front of the first card. And I'm just cutting that piece to be 5 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. And that'll actually go in the center of our card. You can see that with the sample one that I've got, that's the piece that fits in there. So what you can see is we're actually using all of the cards that are in these kits, or if you don't have the kits, but all of the cards putting together, and we're not wasting anything. We're using them all up. So I'm just positioning my 4 border pieces around the outside of that lightweight piece of card that I cut to 14.3 by 10 centimeters. And I'm making sure that I leave a border all around the outside and a little border between the pieces. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me glue all of these on, but needless to say, I glue all of these pieces around that piece of card. So you can see in the background there that none of this is stuck down. I've just positioned a few things so I know where everything is going, and I want to put a greeting on. I'm going to use one of the greeting stickers, but you can use a stamp or whatever you like. Now I'm using an alcohol marker here on some of that cardstock that was left from where we cut off the piece to go into the center, and I'm just using this to make some of the card red. Now I am doing this with an alcohol marker, but you can do this with ink, and I'm actually going to suggest that you do it with ink because the alcohol marker leaks right through the card. Now it's not going to matter in this case because I'm going to be sticking it down so you won't see the back, but I made a boo-boo, and you'll see later where I've used the alcohol marker on the edge of the card, and yeah, that's not such a good look on the inside. But anyway, so you can see that with the sticker it had Merry Christmas as one line. Well, I've cut it in half, so don't be frightened to alter any ephemera or stickers that you have. It's just a matter of cutting them. And if you wreck it, it's probably not the end of the world because, you know, it's really just a piece of paper. And as crafters, we're really good at fixing up the messes. All right, so I stuck that down and I fussy cut around the edge of it. Now I'm going to glue all of this together. So I'm going to raise that center piece with a piece of cardboard. That's just a piece of cardboard from a packaging box that I had. So it's not the really thick corrugated cardboard that you get that a big box is made out of, but you know, it's just a piece of scrap cardboard nevertheless. A couple of pieces of cereal box would work, or you can use double-sided foam tape, whatever you prefer to do. All right, now when I put that on there, I realized it was a little bit difficult to see because of the light border pieces at the top and the bottom. So I've taken my alcohol marker and I'm just running it along the edges. Now once again, you can do this with ink, and you can just run it on your ink pad, and that works just the same. All right, that looks better. So now I am going to add some glue and put that into place. Oh, I'm going to add a lot of glue, obviously. Rightio, there it is, stuck in the middle. So I've just positioned my little gingerbread man there, but you can see his little legs and his little arm is hanging off that centerpiece that is raised. So I'm going to just cut some more of that cardboard into tiny little pieces and stick behind his little legs and his little army, and that'll keep him nice and secure. Now this is important because when you pop this through the post, it goes through rollers, and we don't want broken arms and legs on our gingerbread man. Now I've just stuck him down, and you can see how that alcohol marker has come right through that cardboard there. So yeah, which is, as I said, fine on this one, but not good for what I do later for this part. So I've just put a piece of scrap paper in my card base, and I am running my alcohol markers right around the edges. Now I've left this in to show you, but I don't show you the inside because it wasn't until the next day that I realized what I had done. So, but I've left it there in any case, but you know, word of advice, don't do that. All right, I am now just sticking my matte layer on that's got all of my design on it. With the alcohol marker, by the way, around the edges, just use ink. Just use your ink pad. We've done that heaps of times, so that's a good way of doing it. And there's our finished card. All right, once again, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this or you learned something new, or just even if you like us, hit that thumbs up button because that really helps our little channel. And I hope you enjoyed making this card yourself. And until I see you next time, stay safe and happy crafting.